All right, y'all. Why women don't like nice guys. Well, your girl got an answer for you. Y'all ready? Let's get into it, family. Number one, some women don't think that they can actually do better than the type of guys they've been dating. Makes them uneasy, and so they therefore reject it because it's unfamiliar. Number two, because they think nice, stable, non-dramatic relationships are boring. Toxic's way more interesting. Number three, you aren't as nice as you think you are. Number four, it doesn't seem genuine. Some women assume that if a guy is being nice, too nice, he wants something. He up to something. He must want the cookie and therefore choose to not like him. Last but not least, this type of guy can be seen as less aggressive and less assertive, which can leave women feeling unprotected or not as physically protected as they would a guy who seems aggressive and assertive.
4 reasons that girls don't like nice guys. Number 1, they're not actually ready for something serious. They think they are, but when a guy shows interest and is consistent and wants to see them, they run the other way. So they're probably just not ready. Number 2, it feels inauthentic sometimes to us women when we see a guy being so nice right off the bat. Like, why do you like me so much? I'm too skeptical. And maybe that's from being burnt in the past, but Number 3, it could be a confidence thing. Like, we don't like ourselves at the moment, so why did they like us? What do they see in us? Because I'm not seeing anything in me right now. Number 4, we love a project, so when they're already nice, there's nothing for us to do. We can't change this person.
These are things that men do that women don't like when men are trying to shoot their shot with us. First things first, being sexual. We don't even know each other. So why are you telling me about things you want to do to me? Why are you giving me the sex eyes? Why are you undressing me with your eyes while you are sitting in my face? And we see that and it makes us uncomfortable. And then some of y'all be sending people unsolicited pictures of your dangling and nobody wants to see that. The second thing is having a conversation with yourself. If she was interested, she would respond. She would engage. If she's not doing that, she's not interested and you just got to leave her alone. And the next thing is not being able to take no for an answer and then trying to bargain a friendship out of not being able to have something more.
So gents, do you want to know exactly why choosing signals are not working for you? Well, you came to the right place. This is Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating style and personal development. So if you're into becoming a better version of yourself, definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We release new videos daily at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So for today's topic, we're going over 10 different reasons why choosing signals just aren't working for you and what you can do to improve. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. But first, let's go over very briefly what choosing signals are. Well, choosing signals, these are indicators of interest that women send out to men that show that they, may be interested or they could want you to approach. So it's very important to look for these. It's going to give you the best opportunity to gauge their interest and put you in the best position to succeed when you do actually go over and make that approach. So, it's very important to be looking for these, and I highly encourage you gents to be looking in clusters. What I mean by clusters is you don't want to see just one sign. You want to see several signs in succession, and this can give you confidence that she is in fact interested, and then at that point you can make an approach, or if you decide not to, that's your prerogative, but at least you know where her interest lies. All right, so now let's get into why these choosing signals just aren't working for you. So, for reason number 1, and I see a lot of guys make this mistake, you are overrating that woman's interest for you. In other words, it actually wasn't a choosing signal at all. A lot of guys may be seeing certain things and thinking, oh yeah, that's definitely a choosing signal. But you have to pay close attention and really pay attention to the context. That is very important. And what guys tend to do is they tend to overrate a woman's interest because they're comparing their interest and saying, hey, if I feel this way, or if I feel so strongly for her, she's got to feel something too. That is not how you want to handle things, gents. You don't want to use your interest level as some sort of gauge, for her interest towards you. That's not going to work out. So you want to make sure that you are looking at things very objectively, and you're seeing the reality of the situation. And then that's going to put you in the best position to make a decision and also prevent you from risking rejection. So for reason number 2, gents, that is going to be that you're not reading the choosing signals in clusters. So, a lot of you guys, again, are jumping the gun. You see one sign, let's say a woman looks at you and you're like, oh man, I can just feel it. I feel that she's really into me. This is not something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're looking at things, very objectively and really gauging her interest and making sure that, the signs are there. If a woman really likes you, and another big thing, she's really open to being approached, or she's open to being talked to, or she has the space in her life to entertain a relationship, she's going to demonstrate that in various different ways. So again, you're going to want to be reading these signals in clusters. That is very important, and you want to pay attention because the signs are often subtle. So definitely make sure that you are watching the videos on this channel. I did drop a video in the description that goes over the comprehensive choosing signals that you'll see. Really lists them out and kind of gives you, some of the things to look for. So we're not going to go through all that here, but definitely make sure that you know the choosing signals to look out for, and that you're definitely paying attention to this when you're out and just living life, because again, it can happen very quickly, it can be very subtle, but you want to make sure that you're looking for those clusters. So reason number 3 as to why choosing signals are not working for you. Well, number 3, that's going to be that you did not approach confidently. Again, gents, I've said this time and time again, confidence is the number 1 thing that is attractive to women. So if you're going up to her, let's say you saw all the signs were there, she was very engaged, she was very interested, and then you go over and make an approach and you're just not confident, well, there's not much in that situation that choosing signals is going to do for you. And a lot of guys get this messed up. Oh, I read the signs wrong, or that guy Prince, he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you hesitate, if you go up and say something that's indicative of the fact that you don't really believe in yourself, or maybe you put her on a pedestal above you, if your game or your mouthpiece is not tailored and you're making just really silly mistakes when you go up and finally do approach that girl that you found attractive and she found you attractive too, but at that point you just kind of talked her out of liking you, well, if you're doing those things, there's not much that choosing signals is going to be able to do for you. So you want to make sure that you have down the choosing signals. Of course, you're paying attention, you're gauging women's interest while you're out and about, but you also want to make sure that your game is tight too. So if you want to get clear on that, if you want to know how to handle those situations, not to worry, I did put together a quick, easy read, the Gentleman and Scholars Ultimate Handbook that you can get for free on the Gentleman and Scholars Club website. That is gentlemanandscholarsclub.com. It goes over dating, style, and personal development tips to 10 extra progress. But in this particular case, it goes over, how to approach, things to look for before you approach. And it also goes into some relationship and courtship tips as well. So you're going to want to get that, read through that, and then that's going to help you to know what to say when you are faced with these certain situations. But that is a big thing. You want to make sure that you are approaching confidently. And this is something that you can't really fake. Women are very keen on this. They'll pick up on your lack of confidence very quickly, very easily. So you want to make sure that you've dealt with all of those, mindset things that might be holding you back. Maybe that negative self-talk that you might be dealing with, maybe some insecurities that you're dealing with. Again, you want to get that Gentleman and Scholars Ultimate Handbook because it gives you some actionable tips and steps that you can take to get past those things. So I highly encourage you to get that. Again, you can get it for free on the Gentleman and the Scholars Club website. All you have to do is enter your name and email. So for reason number 4, why choosing signals are not working for you. You appeared scared when you went up and made that approach. So women are very keen on this. They can kind of see the guys that are, scared as they're approaching. They can read it all over their face. And you see this a lot of times with guys that, aren't well practiced. They haven't really done it too often, and maybe they finally build up the courage to go and make that approach, and they're making it this really big thing, like it's huge. It's just just this monumental thing. When in reality, this is not something that should be that important. It shouldn't be that huge, and you shouldn't be placing that amount of level of importance to it, because you don't really know this woman yet. All you know is that she looks good and that you're attracted, but you don't know much outside of that. And essentially wanting to hook up with women, which you guys will find, and I'm really speaking to the younger gents now that maybe are less experienced. What you'll find is once you actually have those experiences with those women, let's say you hook up with them, if you're not aligned with that woman, you'll very quickly lose all attraction for them. And even the really, really attractive ones, you'll actually get tired of hooking up with them after a while. I know you guys can't believe it. You look at a girl like, I don't know, Rihanna or J-Lo, and you say, oh man, like I'd never get tired of hooking up with a woman like that. The news flash is, gents, you would get tired of hooking up with a woman like that. And once you do get tired, the only thing that you're left with is their personality and what they bring to the table as a human being. So ideally, you want to make sure that you are aligning yourself with people that really jive well with you. But getting back to the original point, there's nothing to be scared of. You shouldn't look at this as some monumental task. This is just you conveying that you are interested in this particular woman. And at that point, it's a compatibility test. You chat her up, you see if you all jive and you all are able to have good, stimulating conversation. And at that point, you can progress things, right? Like you can move it to an instant date, or you can just go for the number.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to join the Gentlemen and Scholars family, and consider checking out the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for free resources, Gentlemen and Scholars merch, book recommendations, consultation services, and our free Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, where you'll learn personal development tips on how to build a successful life and become the gentleman of your dreams, style tips to develop an eye-catching, attractive, and unique personal avatar, and dating tips to attract, court, and keep the woman of your dreams. Visit the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for more. Now back to the video.
So for reason number 5, gents, that is going to be that she is an attention seeker. So yes, gents, there are women out there that just want to seek attention. Maybe in some cases they're actually not available, but they do find you attractive. There are various different reasons, but a lot of women, they do just like to get attention. So this is something to pay attention to as well. It might be an insecure woman, maybe someone that is in constant need of attention and validation, and maybe she's not getting that from a guy that she's with, so she'll do different things to solicit that. I know of women that, created whole Tinder accounts just for the simple fact that they wanted attention. They didn't actually want to date anybody on Tinder, but they just wanted to solicit that attention. And maybe these girls have guys in the background and whole boyfriends. So point being is you really don't know what you don't know. So it's never a good idea to get overly hung up on a situation. But to illustrate women seeking attention, I did have a quick story for you guys. So once, not too long ago, I did visit a local Starbucks. I went there to get a few things done. So, pulling out my laptop, going and sitting down at a coffee table, and, I'm just getting some work done. So in walks this really cute girl. I believe she was like Latina. Anyway, she ends up walking in, and then she ends up grabbing some coffee. So, I spot her and I'm thinking, oh man, she looks really, really good. So, she goes to the cash register, places an order. And then as she's walking around to the area where you pick up your coffee, she looks at me and I look at her, and then, I shoot her a smile, and she blushes and kind of smiles back. So I'm like, that's interesting. But at that point, I didn't do anything, getting my work done. And then finally her coffee comes out. So she grabs it. And then at this point she goes and sits down, but she sits down right in my line of sight, but it's all the way across on the other side of the room. So she goes and sits down there. So she's drinking her coffee, and me, I'm still completely focused on my work, still getting that done, but I'm kind of keeping my eye on the situation. So eventually she gets back up, and I believe she went to go grab maybe some tissues or something like that. But as she gets up, she looks in my direction again. And then at that point, I smile and then, I wave her over to me. So at that point, she kind of looks away and then she starts walking in my direction. So I'm thinking she's coming over to me. But then she goes and plays with a dog that another customer had, and it was right in front of me, but she didn't actually end up coming to me. So I'm like, that's interesting, right? So some time passes by, she goes and sits back over, at the table where she was initially. And then this guy kind of walks in, and I guess it's some guy that she had been dating. So, they sit, they chat. But it seemed to me more as though that she was trying to, gauge where she was at with this guy. She didn't seem super hot for him. So I'm looking at the situation and kind of, just seeing things. But of course, I'm still more focused on my work because that's my main priority, right? Always want to keep your purpose and mission number one. So that's of course what I'm doing in this situation. But after some time passed, the guy actually gets up, she hugs the guy, not kiss, she hugs the guy, and then he just leaves and then she stays behind. Then at this point, she is staring me down the entire time. So she's staring me down, she's smiling. But at this point, I realize that she wants me to do something. She wants me to go over, make an approach or whatever. But, I'm not going to do it twice. I already gave her that opportunity. So I'm like, once it didn't happen, I'm like, whatever. It was another bus every 15 minutes. So that was a quick story of an attention seeker. I mean, there are those out there that, will kind of just waste your time, that will kind of, just do things to solicit attention. But really, you shouldn't give those people or those women too much of your attention or too much of your time. Once you see it for what it is, then you can just kind of, do your thing and just kind of leave them alone. But it's definitely something to be aware of. It does exist, it does happen, but I would say that that is not the majority of women. So if you guys are wondering, should I even be looking for these signals? Yes, you should. That is not the majority of women. If women are insecure, if women have boyfriends in the background, but they're just that type of woman where they solicit attention from other men, yeah, you might find stuff like this happening, but that's not the majority of women, like I said. And then really, those are not the type of women that you want anyway. So I wouldn't look at it as a loss. You can just kind of see it for what it is and continue to do your thing. So for reason number 6, that is going to be that the eye contact just wasn't good. So if you're a guy and you're maintaining eye contact with a woman, you see that she looks in your direction and then you guys lock eyes. So you're not gonna want to, childishly look away. You're gonna wanna maintain that with her. Again, you're gonna wanna shoot her a smile and see what she does, but you're not gonna wanna miss those opportunities to build that sexual tension with strong eye contact. That is very important. It does build attraction in women. So you're gonna wanna maintain that, and that takes some practicing. So I encourage you guys to get started on that practicing. But if a woman sees that you're unable to hold eye contact with her, you're unable to look her in the eyes for an extended period of times, she will lose attraction very quickly once she sees this. So this could be affecting your whole approach game entirely. In terms of eye contact, one tidbit, and this is kind of advanced game for you guys, when you guys are out and approaching, one thing to do when you do end the conversation with the woman is to look back and kind of maintain that eye contact with her before you walk away. And this just gives just a little bit more of that sexual tension and really just tightens your game and kind of pushes you over that edge. So if you want to, get more successful and kind of build that connection, particularly early on, this is something that you can integrate into your game, and it really does work. I would highly encourage you to check it out and use it for yourself. So for reason number 7 as to why choosing signals are not working for you, that is going to be that you put her on a pedestal. So this can come out in a variety of things that you say. Maybe you say, oh man, like this woman, she would never go for a guy like me, or, I know that you're probably busy and, might not have time to talk to me, or whatever the case may be. Those little things, those little tidbits that could take all of 1 second can send a signal to her that you do not see yourself as someone that's good enough for her. And it really doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too much. Once she gets that idea from you, you're out, okay? So, it's not that she wasn't attracted to you, it's what you said when you did finally come up to her. For reason number 8 as to why choosing signals are not working for you, your posture. Maybe when you do, finally go up to her, maybe your shoulders are kind of hunched forward, maybe there are different things or body language that you're signaling to her that is indicative of somebody with low confidence, and maybe she will pick up on this during the course of that conversation. So you want to make sure that you're maintaining a good frame. You're kind of had your shoulders kind of kind of broad and your chest kind of poked outward. This is going to give the demeanor and give the posture of somebody that's confident. So you want to make sure that you're doing this. For reason number 9 as to why choosing signals are not working for you, you went up and you asked for her social media. Guys, this is not something that you want to make a habit of doing. I mean, there are very rare cases where this does work out and you get her social media, she gets yours, you shoot her DM, so on and so forth. But the point to recognize here is that you're putting more steps in between the process. So, you're adding additional steps that's going to delay you getting to your desired outcome. So the most important thing to do in this situation is, the thing that I would recommend that you all do is initially you're going to want to go for a date. You're going to want to try and either set a date or go for an instant date. Once you make the approach, once you see things are going well. But let's say that she doesn't have a lot of time, she's not sure of her schedule right then and there, then you want to grab her number. You don't want to go for the social media, because this is going to send a signal to her that maybe you were too scared to actually ask her for her number. And it's just not something that a confident man would do. So if you're doing this could be that one thing that's holding you back, and could be the reason that choosing signals are not working for you. And lastly, for reason number 10 as to why choosing signals are not working for you, that is going to be that you simply turned her off. There was something that you said during the course of that conversation, and at that point there was no coming back. Guys make the mistake of talking way too much during these interactions. You want to keep it, quick and straight and to the point. And additionally, you want to also, either lead, i.e. set the date, or, take her to an instant date destination, or you want to go and grab her number. You don't want to sit there talking to her in the middle of, let's say, a grocery store for like 20 minutes. That's not something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you are pushing your agenda forward and getting to your desired outcome. And she's expecting it too if she's sitting there talking to you, especially for 5-10 minutes. If she's spending that amount of time talking to you, she's expecting for you to go for the date or go for her number. So, women have been through this, especially if it's a gorgeous woman. She knows, what to expect. So you should be leading things in the direction that you want them to go, but you want to make sure that you're not messing up and saying things that are turning her off. So if you want to get clear on those things, like how to approach, how to handle the courtship, and how to handle the first date, when you get into a relationship, how do those things go? How do you text? What are the things that you look for? Definitely check out the Gentleman and Scholars Ultimate Handbook that you can get for free. That's written by me on the Gentleman and Scholars Club website. That's gentlemanandscholarsclub.com. It goes over dating style and self-improvement tips to 10x your progress when it comes to dating style and self-improvement. So I highly encourage you to check that out. It's a very easy, fun read, and it will do wonders for you guys, particularly when it comes to dating. So, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. Definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and do it. Let's give this one a thumbs up. And definitely let us know down below, are there some other reasons that choosing signals might not be working for some of these gents? Definitely let us know in the comments. But until next time, Gentlemen and Scholars. Hey gents,
hope you enjoyed the video. And check out the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for our free Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, free resources, book recommendations, consultation services, and some pretty slick Gentlemen and Scholars merch. GNS hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, notebooks, and so much more. Until next time, Gentlemen and Scholars. Hey gents, if you enjoyed this video, check out some bespoke video recommendations here and here. And subscribe to join the Gentlemen and Scholars Club.